Hey, what's going on, Dealer Talk family? So I wanted to talk to you today about Facebook ads and the power they have for you to take control of your inventory. Are you using Facebook ads? Do you really understand the power that they have and how they benefit your operation? And most importantly, how they compare with third-party sites? If you don't, stay tuned. I'm going to show you exactly the power of Facebook ads. Let's check it out. All right, here we go. So first thing we want to do is we're going to go into overview, and we want to look at social. So, by the way, I started working with this dealership in December, so I'm going to use the full month of December through to date. But we really didn't start until the third week in December. But this will give us more of a view, not just on the social, but when we compare to third-party sites, we can look at that as well. So far, 242 visits to the website. Now, one of the biggest contentions when I bring this up is, well, look at the activity. The engagement is super low, right? So 70% bounce rate, 1.78 pages per session, and then about 49 seconds average duration, which I agree, right? It's not the best activity in the world. And we're going to talk to that in a minute. But before we do that, the first thing that we have to do is we have to set up SRP and VDP views. If you're not doing that, and not just on this, man, but anything that you're not doing with SRP and VDP views on your website, you're at a disadvantage. You don't have the full picture, you don't have the full story, and therefore any decisions you make based on that are not going to be good decisions. So if you don't know how to do this, I'm going to include the tutorial on how to set up SRP and VDP views in the comments. Be sure to check that out. But you have to learn how to do this, and you have to set this up with every single interaction, or not interaction, but analysis that you're doing on the data, because that's going to give you the full picture. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So now that we did that, and by the way, just look at the average traffic, right? Even with third-party sites and everything else on, and then look, once we turned on social, look at the spikes here. So, I'm just saying. So now 242, we had 124 VDP views from that, 70% bounce rate. It did go down a little bit, but it's still kind of high, more pages per session. And now look at the average duration on site, 1 minute and 9 seconds. What are people doing on Facebook, folks? Are they there to buy a car? Because that would be my first question, right, when I look at this. The answer is no, obviously, right? They're not there to buy a car. So the fact that they actually clicked on your inventory says something, right? You triggered something within that potential buyer that caused them to click. And not only did you cause a click, but they went to your sandbox where there's no competitors. It's just you and your inventory. And in this particular case, we route the customers to a VDP page where, again, you have the highest probability of conversion. And so I ask, is that valuable? Is that more than you're currently getting right now from third-party sites? I mean, I got to say that, those are things that we have to be looking at, right? So let's go and check out the referrals portion. So in here we have AutoTrader and we have Gurus. I don't think we have any other on this particular example. No. Okay. So look at this. AutoTrader 42, and out of those 42, 7 converted to a VDP. It's a much better buyer or potential buyer. And there's no questions. Same here. Way low bounce rate, several pages per session, several minutes on site. But look at the quantity, right? Third-party sites are not designed to send customers to your website. They're just not. And that's where you have the highest probability of converting. And so my question to you, is it okay to pay thousands of dollars a month for this kind of behavior or conversion? Or would you rather spend less or more, it depends, on Facebook and send customers directly to your website? Now, I'm not advocating also that you spend $500 on Facebook and you expect a bunch of returns. I mean, that's ludicrous. But at least you're driving customers straight to the website. Now, my challenge for you is to spend as much money as you're spending on third-party sites and Facebook, do lead conversion campaigns, which, by the way, I'm going to show you all this stuff. So if you follow my content every Sunday, you're going to have some post on Facebook advertisement tied into a specific strategy. So right now we're looking at things high level, but I am going to break it down to specifics, and I'm going to share my strategies and formulas that I'm using with the dealers that I consult with that have proven to be very successful. I'm going to share all that stuff. So just tune in every Sunday if you're starting to look at this. But look, I mean, the activity speaks for itself, folks. Like, I'm not making these numbers up. Like you have 7 and 26 delivered in that same time frame versus 100 plus. And I've only spent $167 on that end because we're testing things out right now. We're not fully on. Can you imagine how much more customers and more VDP views I get when I bring it up to $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month? I mean, there's just no comparison. And so, I don't know how to convey this in any other way, but I just want you to see the impact that you have here and the opportunity you have here to convert and the opportunity you have here to drive customers to your website where you have the highest probability of selling a car, right? It's time for us to take back control of our inventory. It's time for us to take back control of our inventory, and this is the way to do it. So there you have it, folks. Look, if you're not doing Facebook ads, you're missing out. Facebook allows you the opportunity to send customers directly to your website, directly to your VDP, where there's no competitors and you have the highest probability of converting, right? It also allows you to target specific areas, right? So 10 to 30 miles from the dealership, which is what Google recommends, where you should spend the majority of your marketing efforts. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm here to help. And as usual, we'll talk later. Take care.